Grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, or grand rest, wherever you are, whenever you tune in. In this rising energy session, I will be covering ego transcendence, inspired by the teachings of a new earth. Breaking it down here in original and authentic terms for more clarity and accessibility, as it refers to moving beyond the ego, the part of us that's obsessed with me, in quotations, my identity, my wants, and my fears, to connect with a deeper, more universal sense of self. It's about letting go of the need to define yourself through status, stuff, or stories, and instead living from a place of presence, connection, and inner peace. Let's make it make sense to the average person, shall we? The ego is like the voice in your head that's always narrating your life, convincing us we're not good enough, or we need more, or they're out to get me. It's the part that compares you to others, clings to labels, lives in the past or future, craves validation, the ego shows up in our everyday lives, every day. And that's a fact. It shows up in everyday moments. Feeling mad when someone cuts you off, obsessing over a coworker's promotion, replaying arguments in your head, the mental chatter that keeps you stressed, defensive, and furthermore disconnected. Transcendence isn't about destroying this voice, it's about seeing it for what it is. Just thoughts, not truth. And we are choosing to live beyond it. Core concepts of ego transcendence, beloveds. It involves recognizing the ego's tricks, the first step is noticing when your ego is running the show. It's that moment when you're fuming because someone didn't text you back, or when you're bragging to feel better about yourself. I did this recently when I shared about the type of classes I was in as a child that countered that feeling with mentioning that I was also a chess master by 2nd grade, beating high schoolers and college students. Recognizing it is like catching yourself before you spiral. Now, who better to make an example of than myself? Beloveds, I've been extremely transparent since day one on this channel. I didn't show up here with my ducks in a row. I didn't come prepared. I came with a student-teacher mindset, but putting the student first, the understanding that I have a lot to learn, but also the understanding that the more we know, the more we learn, the less we actually know. The ego loves to drag you into the past, like regrets or grudges, and sometimes into the future with worries and fantasies. Transcendence means anchoring ourselves in the now. Even when you say you're tired of hearing about the ego. When you're fully present, say, like feeling the warmth of your coffee cup or listening to a friend without even planning your response. Can you even do that? Stepping into the, beyond the ego's grip. Instead of stressing about tomorrow's up and comings while eating dinner, focus on the taste of your food or the laugh of someone close to you. That's a moment of transcendence. Letting go of identification with roles. Although these roles may seem necessary, and sometimes they are, they really are. The ego builds identity around these roles. A lawyer, a parent, the funny one. Transcendence means that these are just temporary hats, not who we are at our core. Your true self is deeper, more like the quiet awareness behind your thoughts. Like, if you lose your job, the ego might scream, "I'm a failure! I'm a failure!" Transcendence is realizing you're still whole, with or without that title. Because, beloveds, your worth isn't tied to it. Our worth is never tied to the dollar bill. Never. We're relinquishing and releasing the need to control. The ego wants to control everything. how people see you, how life unfolds. Transcendence is about surrendering that need and trusting life's flow. It's not about being passive, but about accepting what you can't change while acting from a place of calm. Thinking, this is out of my hands. I'll do my best when I get there. Embracing connection over separation. Oh, the ego thrives on us versus them. Me. So does the world. The Matrix, rather. Believe it or not, there's still a lot of beauty in this world to be discovered, beloveds. Not through judging others, holding grudges, or feeling superior. Transcendence means seeing the shared humanity in everyone, even those who annoy us. I mean, in my book, it's gonna say you, but to be fair, it's us. Recognizing we're all part of the same big picture. For example, your neighbor's loud music might drive you nuts. Instead of stewing, you knock on their door and kindly ask them to turn it down. You're acting from connection, not conflict. I'm not saying that's a role that I would play, but it is an example. I gave the one about being in traffic yesterday, so no rinse and repeats going on here. And finding peace beyond thoughts. The ego is fueled by endless mental noise, worries, plans, judgments. Transcendence happens when you tap into that quiet space beneath those thoughts. We do this often through practices like mindfulness or simple pausing to breathe. That one conscious breath. I learned it from Eckhart, and it has become my favorite reminder for several years now. That one conscious breath. I'm not the OG author of that concept. I'm not so sure he is either. But that's where I learned it from. Full transparency. Dear friends, after a rough day, you sit quietly for a minute. This is where you find a sense of peace that isn't tied to external stuff. Notice your breath instead of replaying the drama. That stillness is your stepping past the ego. Why this matters for humanity? Well, ego transcendence isn't just about personal growth. It's a game ender and a game changer for the world. And if it's a silly game, we stop playing. If it's a dangerous game, we stop playing. If it's a matter of a narcissist who enjoys others fighting over them, we disengage. Here's why. But in terms the average person can connect with. Less conflict, more understanding. When people let go of ego-driven needs to be right or better, arguments shrink. The ego loves greatness. Imagine fewer family feuds, workplace rivalries, or even these global tensions, because people aren't stuck in me versus you. And lean into more authentic relationships. Make it happen, Mr. T. Make it happen, Mr. D. The Dawn. Let's go. Protect us frequency holders. And change the world. For real. But with the understanding that we don't actually go out in pursuit of changing the world itself. We change those aspects within ourselves, and in turn, it radiates, it ripples, it expands throughout the world. More authentic relationships without the ego's need for approval or control. You connect with others from a real place. Think of friendships where you don't have to pretend or compete. Just be. In a calmer world, ego transcendence spreads like ripples. If you stay calm in a heated moment, the person next to you might soften too. Huh, Mr. D? You've seen it with your own eyes, as one went from panic to the Holy Spirit saying, not up in here. Over time, this creates a less stressed and more compassionate society. One of my favorites, oh me, oh my, is freedom from materialism. Oh yeah, the ego loves chasing stuff, money, status, gadgets. I promise you I didn't chase anything that I have. Everything I own is a gift given upon another's own free will. I never asked for any of it. None of it. Everything I have around me is gifted. Transcendence shifts your focus to what's real. Connection, purpose, joy. This could lead to a world where we're not wrecking the planet to keep up with the Joneses. Congratulations on your crystal collection. Now keep the rest in the ground. Let's touch on collective healing instead. As more people wake up from the ego's illusions, humanity moves towards a shared sense of purpose. It's like we're all tuning into the same frequency. One, cooperation, not competition. How do we practice ego transcendence in our everyday lives? Well, for the average person, ego transcendence doesn't require retreating to a monastery. It's about small, intentional steps. Pause and notice. When you're upset, ask, is this my ego talking? Just notice. Yeah, noticing can loosen its grip. Focus on the now. Trying a 1-minute mindfulness break. Feel your feet on the ground. I mean, really feel it. Hear the sounds around you. I mean, really hear it. Question your labels. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm a failure, or even a success, ask, who am I without that label? My favorite is practicing kindness. I was actually made fun of when I was a little girl. And I was told I was too kind, too affectionate. Bless and release. Do one small ego-free act daily. Like letting someone go ahead of you in line without even expecting thanks. Breathe through reactions. I know, it's not easy. Believe me, I know. I found that out in August. But I did it anyway, and I have witnesses. But listen up. It's the ego that cares about the witnesses. When you're triggered, take those slow breaths before responding. This gives space to choose presence over ego. Think of an ego as a loud, demanding toddler throwing a tantrum in your mind, always wanting attention or control, always wanting to be the best of the best of the best at what we do. Oh, goodness. Ego transcendence is like being the calm parent who sees the tantrum but doesn't get sucked in. You acknowledge the toddler, but you act from a wiser, quieter part of yourself. Over time, the toddler quiets down, and you're free to live from a place of peace and connection. Connecting to frequency holders. As discussed yesterday, we are people who naturally embody this ego transcendence, not ruled by the ego's need for stupid drama or even validation. No longer seeking validation up in here. Radiating a higher frequency of calm and compassion. By transcending our own egos, helping others do the same, creating a domino effect that uplifts humanity. For example, a frequency holder might listen to you vent without judging, helping you step out of your own ego-driven anger. This brings me to a transmission that I wrote for spoken word. One of these days, I'll find an open mic night. Yo. Okay, this is called the Evolution Vibe. Humanity's been running this race for years, chasing dreams, drowning in fears. We build skyscrapers, rockets to the stars, but still fight wars over who we think we are. The ego's been loud, screaming mine, me, more, building walls, keeping score. But there's a shift, a hum, a new kind of sound, a frequency rising from the ground. Frequency holders, they're leading the way, not with fists, but with the peace they display. They're the ones who pause when the world says rush, who listen when the ego says crush. They're your neighbor, your friend, the stranger who smiles, carrying light through life's hardest miles. They don't chase clout or a crown to wear. They're just holding a vibe that says, I care. Beloveds, I care. See, the ego's a trap. It's a cage we build, filling our hearts with shame and guilt. It whispers, you're less. You're not even enough. Gotta prove you're better. Gotta act tough. But what if we let that story go? Let the me fade. Let the we grow. That's where the evolution starts to spark. A flame of presence lighting up the dark. Transcending ego ain't about being a saint. It's not some guru on a hill with no complaints. It's you at the grocery store, breathing slow when the line's long and your patience is low. It's choosing to listen when you want to shout. Seeing the human in the one you'd count out. It's dropping the mask, the need to be right, and finding the peace that burns through the fight. This is humanity's next big leap, not to the stars, but to something deep. Ego transcendence is a collective call to rise together, not to watch each other fall. When we let go of mine and embrace ours, we plant the seeds for a world that flowers. Frequency holders are the ones who show how to love, how to heal, how to grow. Picture a world where we're not split apart, where compassion's the beat of the human heart. No more us versus them, no more lines in the sand, just hands reaching out, hand in hand. Every small choice to stay present and stay kind rewires the soul of humankind. It's not a dream, it's a path we can take. A new earth rising with each choice we make. So be that holder, that spark, that vibe. The one who lifts up the human tribe. Let go of the ego. Let love be your guide. And watch humanity evolve side by side. This is the frequency. This is the call to wake up together for the good of us all. And that concludes my transmission. Framing ego's transcendence and frequency holders as catalysts for humanity's evolution. Not in a technological or material sense, but in a shift towards greater consciousness and connection. Moving beyond division. The ego fuels separation through competition, judgment, and conflict. Transcending it allows people to see others as part of a shared whole, reducing tribalism and fostering unity. This is a step towards a more cooperative global society. Shifting from material to meaningful. Humanity's past evolution often meant more stuff, bigger cities, faster cars. In this piece, we suggest the next step is inner growth, where we value presence and compassion over status. This could lead to a world that prioritizes well-being over consumption, healing social and environmental damage, creating a ripple effect. Frequency holders model a way of being, calm, present, and kind, that inspires others. As more people adopt this vibe, it creates a collective shift, like a wave spreading through society. This is evolution in action, not physical, but a transformation in how we relate to each other. Healing through awareness, by letting go of the ego-driven reactions. We break cycles of pain that have defined human history. Think family feuds, workplace drama, and even wars. Painting this as a practical path to a more peaceful world. A New Earth Vision. This title nods to Tolle's idea of a new Earth, but this piece makes it relatable by focusing on our everyday choices, like breathing through frustration. Humanity evolves when ordinary people embody higher consciousness, creating a world where love and connection outweigh conflict. In the next session, I'll be going over mindfulness practices for ego, transcendence, and humanity's evolution. Until then, I want to thank you so very much, Multiversal Soul, Familia, for tuning in with much gratitude and appreciation from my heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings and agape omni love to all.